Robert Saleh spoke to the media at today's New York Jets OTA practice. Also, a lot of interesting nuggets. Who was in? Who was out? What is it looking like for 2024? Let's roll.
Jets, Jets, let's go.
Jets wide receiver Wesley Walker. Wesley, how you doing today? ESPN writer Mr. Rich Cimini, Jets reporter for The Athletic, Mr. Zach Rosenblatt, Hall of Famer and Jets legend Mr. Marty Lyons.
Your host, Connor Law.
What is going on, New York Jet fans? Welcome in, everyone. Here we are for a Tuesday evening edition of NY Flight Jets Talk. Just a little quick announcement before we dive right into all your comments. Then we're going to analyze Robert Saleh's press conference, and then we will go through all of today's notes from OTAs via Rich Cimini of ESPN and Robbie Sabo of Jet X Factor. So first, my announcement is, thank you for all the support that you guys have given me recently. I really appreciate all you guys have done, and we're so close to getting monetized where I can put out memberships, and then you guys can also send super chats. So you need at least 500 subscribers and 3,000 watch hours. I'm past the 500 subscribers, 2,112 watch hours. To put that in perspective, 3 days ago, I only had 1,900. So if we keep smashing that like button, which helps that algorithm to get more people to watch my show, the closest I will get to being monetized. So if everyone right now can smash the like button, and if you're not subscribed already, make sure you do that on your way over to smashing the like button too. But really, really, really appreciate everything you guys have done for me as of late. It really means a lot to me. Let's say what's up to everyone in the chat. Bobby, how you doing today? Loved your shows recently. Congrats to Bobby. He just hit 300 subscribers. If you haven't already, go over and subscribe to Bobby Midnight on YouTube. Great show. Dano, what's up, man? Good to see you as always in the chat. Mike D's nuts. There you are. What's up, my man? Future of New York Jets media right here. Thanks, man. Really appreciate it. Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. What's up, my man? Nate, good to see you in here. Let's see who else we got. What's up? What's up, Ricky? Good to see you as always. Mike, Connor's show's better than most adults. Thank you, man. Really appreciate it. Dano, I love interesting nuggets. Love to see it. Ricky, thank you as always. Let's see. Dano, so that's why you did the countdown twice for watch hours. I see you, LOL, JK. I just informed myself. No, that's not actually. I know you're joking, but that's not actually why. For me, StreamYard only gave me a 30-second one, so I just try to do it a minute to get people in here. I know most people do. Some people do 30 seconds. I like to do a minute, give time for everyone to get and settle in on the chat. Clancy and my Jets, good to see you, my man. Really appreciate all the support, guys. So let's dive right into it. We're going to go right in to breaking down Robert Saleh's press conference today. So I have some clips that I've chosen that I found the most interesting. First, overall, I thought Saleh's press conference was really interesting. He gave a lot of interesting takes in terms of the situation with Reddick, the tight end room, there's something about Chuck Clark, Breece Hall possibly making a jump, and then another clip about Tyron Smith's leadership so far. So we're going to dive right in. First, Antoine Staley, the New York Daily News, great friend of the show, asked Robert Saleh what his thoughts are on Tyler Conklin, who's most likely going to lead this tight end room in 2024. And, I'm a big fan of Conklin, but let's see what Saleh had to say on tight end one.
Tyler Conklin, just talk about the growth you've seen with him the last couple of years and just what he's been for the offense.
Tremendous human, first off. But, Conk, I don't know what his number is, but at least it feels that he is one of the better contested catch guys in football. He's unbelievable in tight window throws and very reliable player for the receiver for the quarterback. But he also blocks his tail off in line as a tight end and a tremendous leader for that entire group.
That's what Coach Saleh had to say on tight end Tyler Conklin. I couldn't agree with him more. I've said it time in and time out. I think Tyler Conklin is great in the pass game, and I think he's okay in the blocking game. Definitely could have some. Definitely could improve in the blocking game. But I look at him, I think he's going to be tight end one. So if you can get high praise like that from Coach Saleh, I really think it's a good sign, and I expect a lot from Conk going into 2024 with the New York Jets. That's what Saleh had to say on Conklin. This is what Saleh had to say on Joe Douglas's arguably biggest free agent addition this offseason, Tyron Smith.
We don't know what Tyron brings on the field, but if you see off the field from him this year.
He's got great leadership. He's talking about the left tackle, right? Yeah. Just Tyron. But you could see, I know Olu is soaking up all the information he can get from him, which is awesome. I think all the tackles and O linemen are gravitating towards him. It's amazing. I was, not to blow smoke up anyone's butt or anything, but I was going through the weight room and I saw him repping out over 400 pounds on the bench like it was my 135 rep. But he's an impressive man. He's an impressive personality, and he's definitely it's awesome to have. You as a coach, you always want guys that you want to protect them from them rather than. Easier to say whoa than giddy up, and he's definitely one of those guys who I'm recognizing that we're going to have to pull back, because if you don't, he'll just keep going.
I knew Tyron Smith was a leader. He is an older veteran, a very talented left tackle. The question is, can he stay healthy? And then the Jets, they drafted a guy, Olu Fashanu, who's most likely going to start the season as a backup. But you have to prepare as many injuries as possible. And I love that they bring in a veteran like Tyron Smith to kind of help develop a younger piece like Olu Fashanu, if you will. I'm a big fan. How could you not like the signing of Tyron Smith? But again, I'm happy that connection in the offensive line room is clicking, as I think, Olu could possibly be that tackle of the future for the New York Jets. Obviously, Tyron Smith is an older option and kind of hopefully pass down those genes, if you will, to Fashanu. But I really like Smith. He started today on the bike, I think, so there might be a little something, but we'll go after we're finished done with this. We will break down the notes from today's OTAs. Speaking of not being 100%, Chuck Clark is about to hit his 1-year anniversary of tearing his ACL. And, Chuck said he feels there's a chip on his shoulder. This is what Coach Saleh had to say on Chuck Clark.
How there was this time last year when Chuck Clark tore his ACL. You guys obviously had high hopes for him, brought him back, but how hard was that to deal with last year?
It was tough, because a guy like Chuck, you don't feel bad for the team as much as you do the individual. He puts in all the work. He's in a new environment. I think it was the last play of the last practice. But he looks good. He's worked his tail off. He's been here every day. He didn't have to, even last year during the season, he didn't have to be here to rehab. But he was here and staying connected to the team. And he's putting together a good OTA and excited about the trajectory at which he's going.
Clark later said that he feels there is a chip on his shoulder for him to perform in 2024. Obviously, in one of the last training camp practices of 2023, Chuck Clark unfortunately tore his ACL, forcing him to be sidelined for the full length of the 2023 NFL season. And obviously, the Jets do bring him back this offseason on a 1-year deal. I was a fan of the deal. I've said it time in and time out. Add another guy. Justin Simmons would be great. I love Clark. I think Clark and Adams are going to be the main two guys in this safety room. And, there's just a little question on how he's going to bounce back after that injury. But I have faith in him. I think he's going to have a solid bounce back year. I think he's going to show everyone, Joe Douglas and Jet fans, why it was the right move to re-sign him. Moving on to a situation that I've been very vocal on is the Hassan Reddick situation. Reddick has not been at OTAs, which are voluntary, honestly, obviously, but He's not been at OTAs, and the conversation is he holding out for a contract extension? This is what Coach Saleh had to say.
Robert, has Hassan Reddick been here at all this spring?
He is not.
You know why?
No.
He was before he left Philly, he was pretty adamant that he wanted a new contract. Has that been relayed to you guys?
I don't know that. I don't know. That'd probably be more of a question for Joe.
Is it? I know it's voluntary, but is it concerning? He's new to the program. Is it a concern at all?
No, obviously as a coach, selfishly you want everybody here all the time, but it is voluntary, and I'm thankful for the guys who are here putting in their work, and those are the guys who I'm going to focus on.
Have you had any communication with Hassan?
I have not.
Is that unusual
No.
for
Like I said,
a player?
like I said, for me, I'm focused on the guys who are here, and Hassan's a pro. He's been in this league a while. He's produced at a very high level for a long time. He's got his routine. If it makes people feel better, we know where he's at. We know what he's doing, and we know he's working his tail off to get where he needs to get to have a productive 24 season.
Do you expect to see him next week?
I do.
Very, very, very interesting comments made by Coach Saleh at the end of that clip. I don't know if you guys caught it, but he did say he does expect New York Jets defensive end Hassan Reddick to attend mandatory minicamp, which does start next week. And that, if he does not show up to mandatory minicamp, that's where eyebrows start to get raised. Is he really holding out for a deal? I personally do think he is holding out for a deal, and I do think the Jets find a way, and I do think he is on the field for 2024. I do think he is at mandatory minicamp next week. But obviously, a lot of interesting nuggets from Coach Saleh's press conference today. Those were just the main ones that stuck out to me. Now, we're going to head over to today's OTA notes, courtesy of Robbie Sabo of New York Jets X Factor and Rich Samini, New York Jets insider for ESPN. We're going to start with I only took one little note from Sabo, and then the rest of the other, what Samini titled "Observations on Today's Jets Practice." So I only took one from Samini, and then I took one from Sabo, and then took the rest from Samini. Here's a nugget I found really interesting on Sabo. He said, "Quote: Here's where some player versatility is used in linebacker positionals. Chaz Surratt got to play play quarterback in a specific drill simulating run concepts. He began his collegiate career at UNC as quarterback." So yeah, that's really interesting. I don't think it means much, but it was just something I found interesting because I don't know if you guys knew, but really it came out in Hard Knocks mostly. Chaz Surratt was a college quarterback and then converted to a linebacker in the NFL. So really interesting. They gave him some reps. I don't think that means much. I think he is the team's emergency quarterback. God forbid if we got into that situation. But you always want to have a guy like that, in my opinion, at least, where you have him for emergency. So that's just something I found a little interesting. Here are the big player-by-player notes for Samini. Not every player there, but here were his observations. Solid day for Aaron Rodgers. He went 6 for 9 with 1 touchdown. He faced some pressure. A couple of those completions could have been ruled a sack. Showed good escapability on a 59-yard TD strike to Xavier Gibson, which Samini later called the play of the day. Delivered a no-look special to a wide-open Garrett Wilson in a 7-on-7. The starting D-line was absent. So yeah, I did see that. I thought Eric Watts would have had a sack, apparently, if they were counting. So Eric Watts is a really interesting undrafted free agent who has a good chance, in my opinion, to battle for a spot on this roster. So like that he's getting after the quarterback. Let's move over to the tight end position. According to Samini, Jeremy Ruckert stood out. He made a nice adjustment on a crossing route, showing good body control on a Rodgers pass. This is an important year for Ruckert, currently the tight end too. Like I mentioned, I do think obviously that Conklin is going to be the tight end one, and I do think Ruckert's going to get a solid amount of reps in 2024, but he is going to have to battle for Conklin, as you know. Saleh did say he is one of the best contested catch receivers in the league, and I agree with Salah. I think Conklin is very solid in the pass game, so I do definitely agree with Salah. Moving on, Jets' fourth round pick, rookie running back Braylon Allen continued to impress as a receiver. He made plays in space, even downfield on a long contested pass. He's a hands catcher, not a body catcher, and looks smooth. He caught only 49 passes in 3 years at Wisconsin. He's an underrated receiver, especially for a 235-pound back. I don't have that clip with me right now, but Salah did say something in his press conference. I think Kaz asked him it about like getting him involved in the pass game. He said he has smooth hands and he really wants to use them. As Samini mentioned there, he did not play a ton in the pass game at college. And we have two more things about two running backs, and then let's see, not a ton more after not a ton more. Oh no, there's a good amount of more good solid amount after that. But moving on to another running back in a really tough position in my opinion in this running back room is running back Israel Abandokonda. Samini noted he did not have not a ton of reps, and then he said you wonder if he might get lost in the shuffle. Really interesting. As I've been very vocal, I do think he's going to be the running back 5 out of the main 5 guys that they have after signing Tariq Cohen. So if he not a ton of reps, I found that interesting that the Jets aren't really even using him. Obviously, this is OTAs. Things will kick up more in a training camp, mandatory mini camp type environment, but just an interesting nugget that I found there. Another running back, rookie running back, Isaiah Davis, lined up in the wrong spot on one play with Rodgers at quarterback and was sent off. So it looks that Izzy probably had a better day than Davis, as Davis lined up in the wrong spot and then was sent off the field. And then here was another one. In between series, Rodgers spent a few minutes on the defensive sideline chatting with CJ Mosley. It looked like they were rehashing the previous series. It's never a bad thing when two of the smartest guys on the field are talking football. Love to see Rodgers communicating with one of the signal callers on the defense. I really, really like that. Samini also noted this was a busy day for rookie left tackle Olu Fashan, who got plenty of reps. It was a rest day for Tyron Smith, who spent a long time talking with visiting alumni Nick Mangold. Lots of O-line wisdom in that conversation. And, I love that Mangold was there today. It's kind of taking a look at Tip a little. I noticed that. Love that he's kind of getting involved with this team. And then a little just quick note. Samini noted QB Tyrod Taylor sure does like to throw deep. And then later, what I saved for last, which I kind of mentioned earlier, what Samini called the play of the day. Aaron Rodgers to Xavier Gibson for a 59-yard touchdown, a one-play drive. Key to the play. Rodgers coming off the Achilles was flushed to his right. Good escape. He threw across the field to the left hash, hitting an open Gibson in stride. Might have been a blown coverage as Tony Adams was the nearest defender. Tony Adams, obviously, kind of a big name in that message, in that kind of nugget there, because he's in line to be one of the top safeties for this season. So interesting nugget there. But I love getting Gibson involved. I really like that. And then the last thing before we go to the chat and then go to the phone lines, Samini noted that Breece Hall, Tyron Smith, Brandon Eccles, AVT, Morgan Moses, and Irv Charles did not practice today. Interesting to see a guy like Irv Charles on there, who I think can be really solid. He's kind of battling to be a top kind of crack the depth chart, but I think he can be a nice player. Let's go up in the chat. We missed a lot of chats there. We're gonna start let's see. We'll start here. We missed a lot. Dano. Hashtag extend Conk, extend MC2, extend Reed. That's wow. I love it. Realistically, if I'm a betting man, I'm not gonna say that's happening, but I love it. I would really love to do that. Clancy says, don't know if Reed would take a 1-year deal. Reed is approaching 30, so once he hits 30, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I don't think he'd take a 1-year deal. I think he's going to come back. I think MC2 is going to walk, though. Realistically, I think that's what's going to happen. Dano kind of says a similar thing next. Might have to part with Reed next spring, but I'm hoping we get one more out of him before paying Sauce. Honestly, I think Reed comes back, and I think MC2 is a goner. That's what I think. Mike D's nuts. Most adult shows aren't like this. Good job, kid. Thank you. Appreciate it. Then Mike D's Nuts again, extend Reed and MC2. I hope that could happen. Realistically, like I said, I do not think that's gonna happen. But I would love it. I would love it. Clancy NY Jets. I think they may value MC2 over a Reed deal, and on average, slot QB make a little less. Talks haven't started with MC2 yet, which Antoine Staley told me he's not surprised. Antoine on my show, Antoine said that he's not surprised that talks have not started. Like I said, I've said it. I think MC2 is gonna walk, and I think Reed comes back. They know. Clark's jersey is en route. Love the guy, and I think he's an enormous. He's enormous. Is stopping the elite running backs this year. Happy to have Clark back. Interesting to see his production with this ACL injury, but really interesting. I do think he'll be solid though. I do think he'll have a bounce back year. Mike D's Nuts says Hassan wants a deal. I do think Hassan wants a deal, but I do think he will be at minicamp. Mandatory minicamp, which occurs next week, starts next week. We probably got 25 guys on 1 year deals, 20 we want to keep, I bet, LOL. Yeah, we have a lot of guys on 1 year deals right now. Clancy following up. Yeah, and it's a tough window. We probably don't want to commit too long a deal, and he wants his money. Hope they can smooth it over a year at least. I think he's talking about Reed. Oh no, with Reddick. He said with Reddick. Yeah. I think Reddick, it's if he doesn't play this year, I think they do get it done. I do think they will get it done. Dano, commit to just long enough for Will McDonald to be a 1K snap player. I do think Will's gonna have a solid year. I think there's a possibility that him and Jermaine combine for 20. I really do. Call me crazy, but I do think there's a possibility for Will McDonald to combine for 20. I really, really do. Let's go down. Mike feel like Izzy's a goner? Yeah, I think Izzy's gone. Really do think Izzy's gone. Oh, going back up. Braylon Allen supposedly looking good in pass protection. Yeah, he's been looking nice. Allen is a specimen, bro. Yikes. Yeah, he's huge. Allen is a big guy. Allen is a big guy. Let's see. Clancy, yeah, Izzy is going to have to make some nice plays in preseason. You'll probably get a good amount of the opportunities to do so, though. I don't know about a huge amount of the opportunities. I do think guys like, I think Isaiah Davis is going to see a ton of reps. I think Davis is going to see a ton of reps this preseason. I think it's going to be like Davis, Izzy, and Cohen. Mostly, I think that's what it's going to look like. Really, really think that's what it's going to look like. Snowball, good to see you, my man. Dano should get a 6th for Izzy. Worst case, no. I don't know. I honestly don't even know if they'll trade him. I think they might try to keep him as a practice squad guy. I think that's what they're gonna do. Clancy says to Dano, "I'm not positive, but that would be nice for sure, though. If we had to lose him, yeah. Didn't we draft him in the 6th round too? We basically like recoup what he got. What we drafted him with. I think that would be a great get for if we were to trade Izzy. I'd do that. Mike D's Nuts. Izzy's game looks super basic, just a speed guy in my opinion, and his game is not in the new direction of the Jets offense with the power run scheme. Yeah, like I said, I do think he's either practice squad or gone. Yeah, Clancy says odd man out probably. Mike again, think Reed walks and we keep MC2. I think it's the other way around, Mike. I think MC2 walks and we keep Reed. Really do think that's what's gonna happen. He was hitting the spin move in the open field with much success last. P.S. Hopefully caught it. It caught some eyes elsewhere. Yeah. Oh no. Dano says we took Izzy in the fifth. So then yeah, I'd get a 6 for him honestly, because I don't think he's gonna be used at all in the run game at all. Ricky has something in the chat. I'd give Reddick a fat bonus and incentives, parentheses, sacks, playoffs, Pro Bowl, but no new money or years commitment to team before individual players. Let me just go back to that real quick. Yeah, I anything to get Reddick to play, honestly, at this point. I'll extend him. I really want to extend him. I agree, Ricky. I'd give him a ton of incentives. An incentive-based deal for a guy like Reddick, I think that could really benefit the Jets. Mike D's nuts to my comment about the Jets getting DJ Reed over MC2. Respectfully disagree, Connor. LOL. No, 100%. I respect everyone's opinion, Mike. I love disagreeing with viewers. I think it creates a really good, healthy kind of debate environment, if you will. I personally, though, I would rather have MC2 over Reed. What I'm saying is, I think they have a better chance of getting Reed than MC2. But everyone, thank you guys for being with me. We're gonna go over to the phone lines in a little. If you would like to call into the show, hit the pin comment in the chat, and also smash that like button as we are so close to 1,000 subscribers, and also getting monetized. Also, hit that like button, subscribe, like I said, and really, really appreciate all the support you have given me. Like I said, if you want to call into the show, hit that pin comment in the chat where you're going to go over to the phone lines. First up, we have Bobby Midnight joining the show. Bobby, how you doing today?
How you doing, Connor?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great.
Where did you guys get Clark from? Was it Jacksonville Jaguars?
No, we got Chuck Clark from the Baltimore Ravens.
Oh, right. Okay. Why did I take Jacksonville Jaguars for? I don't know why. I don't know. But I think you all your points seem I agree with you.
Thank you. So,
Right.
what are your thoughts on Reddick? How do you think they're gonna? Do you think they'll get the deal done?
Yeah, they should. I think I would give them a deal. So
I
it
would
doesn't.
too. It's just a
Yeah.
question of when it gets done. Really, I do
Hmm.
think I do think they get it done. Bobby, what player do you think is gonna have a breakout year this year? Who are you most looking forward to?
Well, I'm looking out for that running back kid, Allen.
Braylon Allen.
Yes.
I love, big fan of Braylon. Bobby, thank you for the call. Appreciate your time. Like I said, if you want to call into the chat, if you want to call into the show, hit the pin comment in the chat. Also, if you're just joining or you're here, make sure you smash that like button and hit the subscribe button. I was checking my analytics today. I think only 53% of my viewers are subscribed. So if you have not already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And also, if you've not already, smash that like button. But great call by Bobby. And right now, I think it's just the big debate. Who is it, MC2 or Reed? I don't think Jet fans are realizing, though. Obviously, you want to try to get an extension done as soon as possible. But they're going to be here for this year. And I think this is a pivotal year for the New York Jets. And depending on how they both play, I think we can get both of them. Possibility of getting both of them back. Do I think it's likely? No. Do I think it can happen? Yes. Really depends on what happens. Really does depend what happens. Really does. Mike D's Nuts says MC2 would cost much less, but yeah, they haven't started talks with MC2, which is a little concerning for me. Little concerning for me. But I would like MC2 more. I want MC2 back. I want him back. I think MC2 is going to demand more money than I think he deserves. Really do. Snowball, Reddick has one job. Want him to be selfish. Yeah, like I said, I do think, in all seriousness, I do think the Reddick deal is done, and he is at mandatory minicamp, and he plays is what matters. Plays in 2024. That is what matters. Clancy, Bobby, take a haze nap. Need another banger stream tonight. Everyone, if you have not already, go subscribe to Bobby Midnight on YouTube. He does a ton of streams over there. He just hit 300 subscribers. But I think I'm going to wrap up here in a couple of minutes. You guys have about, I'll give you 2 minutes if you guys want to call into the show. Hit that pin comment and smash that like button. Hit the subscribe button. Like I said, you have 2 minutes if you guys want to call into the show. If not, I'm going to wrap up here. But really, really appreciate all the support. The big talk today, like I said, if you're just coming in, we analyzed the Saleh press conference and we analyzed what happened at today's OTAs. A lot of interesting comments by Saleh and a lot of interesting news coming out of today's OTAs. Looks like I'm going to wrap up here. Everyone, thank you guys for watching. And as always, JTS, Jets, Jets, Jets.